G'day! You're about to watch Keith Andrew on the Keith Andrew Network show, where it's okay to be yourself. Be inspired and encouraged by people who make the sky their limit. Keith Andrew!
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the Keith Andrew Network. It is a very special United Kingdom / Canadian edition of the Keith Andrew Network. For people who want to know what is my talk show, the whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities to never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be. To prove to them, you can still amount to something. So hashtag break the labels. With that being said, it's going to be an open format. Everyone can chime in. I'm going to throw a question out there for each of you. Each of you can ask separate questions. And hey, like I always say, you're making a new friend out of it. But I'm going to start off with my friend Nick from the United Kingdom. What are you doing for Halloween?
What am I doing for Halloween? Not a great deal, in all honesty. I do like Halloween. I've never really been into trick or treating, I do intend quite possibly to have a look and see if all the Halloween candy is going half price in the shops yet, and picking up on some of that. I've also got various bits of voiceover work to do as well, and yeah, I'll amuse myself somehow. Maybe watch a scary movie like Break with Tradition.
But unfortunately, with the whole coronavirus, we're kind of limiting a scary movie.
Yes, definitely. I think it's definitely taken the edge off a lot of.
I agree.
Of watching scary movies.
Now we got to go over to my ghost friend, my ghost hunter. How has business been? How have you been?
I changed my mic setup so you can still hear me. I'm hoping. So, you know what? I know a lot of paranormal investigators out there are actually going out this weekend and filming and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I am not filming this weekend. I am filming next weekend. I was supposed to be going out this weekend, but the people that I was supposed to be going out with had to move the dates, so I'm okay with that. In all honesty, yes, I'm a paranormal investigator, but I have to be honest, I'm not big on Halloween. I'm just not. It's just I've never really been big in Halloween, so I guess I'm not your typical paranormal investigator, because all paranormal investigators are going out this weekend, but at the same time, it's pouring down with rain here, so I wouldn't be able to really go out anyways. So it's really raining here. So, but other than that, that's all I'm really doing. So I'm not doing much.
No, you're right. Actually, I got turned down because I actually asked my friend, who I think she was in Canada or England. I don't think it was England. It's like, oh, I'm doing a Halloween edition. I hate Halloween. I don't want to be in it. I don't want nothing to do with it. I'm like, okay, you don't have to dress up or anything. Do you want to join and hang out with friends at least? If it's going to be like anything Halloweeny, I want nothing to do with it. I'm like, you know what? I tried. You can't please everyone. But that leaves our last guest. How do you feel?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing? Can you hear us, or?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, perfect. We have two more, but we can always get back to them. Jeff, what are you doing for Halloween?
Nothing.
I think you got a boring crew out here. We're not doing anything for Halloween.
Well, that's the thing. The reason for this is my show officially starts in January. And the thing is that, sorry, I was talking, I had to swallow at the same time. And it's a PC show, by the way. But I had to swallow while I was talking to catch my breath. My show starts in January. And I'm like, okay, but the biggest thing is, if you look at my website, KeithAndrewNetWork.com, like, okay, season 10, says 2022 to 2023, but I'm going to start in September of 21, so I'm going to run over. That's why reason I'm doing the fillers now, is because I had about 4 or 5 episodes, like one after another. It's like, yes, I'm getting numbers. Shit, that means when it comes next year, the years won't match up. So now I'm like, okay, let's do some filler episodes, interview people from Canada, England, Australia, do some special different things. And I'm like, okay, well, we're continuing the theme of Canada, England, and Australia. Why not just have those people on the show? And, and Brian, as what you were saying, I made a joke, boring people, or just out to want to be well, boring people. But it's kind of like Halloween is, I didn't really think, I've always thought, it's globalized. If you like the holiday, you're going to celebrate it. But I'm like, okay, the more I learn from you guys, it's not a Canadian thing. It's not a British thing. It's an American holiday. I always thought it was globalized, but hey, you know what? Whatever. You learn something new every day,
Yeah, for sure. Halloween is when I was a kid, Halloween was really, really popular. And we used to have lots of kids going around, and I used to be the type of guy that would go out, and I would be coming home 3 or 4 times after filling up my bag, right? So, and I would be going to all kinds of different neighborhoods, and I would always end up in the neighborhood where the mansions were, because you figured they'd always have the best candy, which usually was our thought, but most of the time, most of their candy was crap. But because they're so cheap, right? So, but at the end of the day, Halloween is big here, but I don't know. I'm just not big into it. So
I understand. So let's change up the format. I'm gonna stay with you. What is some of your favorite, most terrifying moments from being a ghost hunter? I think I asked you that from our last interview.
Well, I've had quite a few, but if I want to speak recently, I had a investigation last November. It's probably been my scariest up to this point, where I was in a salon. Believe it or not, it was a hair salon, and I got choked. I got choked and lost my breath, and we had to stop filming for about 2 minutes so I could catch my breath back. And yeah, that was probably one of my most terrifying moments as a paranormal investigator. And you wouldn't think it would be a hair salon, but it was a hair salon, and that was probably one of my scariest moments.
What about you, Nick?
One of my scariest moments. I'll have a think. I've had a few instances. I mean, I haven't really got involved in ghost hunting myself, but you do have kind of like strange moments where it's kind of like you wake up and lots of things don't work properly. It's like household devices just weren't working properly. I think that was one time we woke up and there'd been no trace of a power cut or anything, and it was just, and yeah, that kind of felt like a bit Ghost in the Machine-esque.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the reason you going back to when I was going to pass this over to Graham, you have your mic off.
Oh, probably I would say when I had my car accident 10 years ago, when I collided into a train.
Oh, wow.
And it's like a freak accident because I just spaced out. It didn't stop because I spaced out. I saw the red light and the bell was ringing. I completely ignored the bell, and it's like I saw the red light, but I didn't see it, and for some reason just kept on, just rammed right into the train, and the car was spinning, spun off to the side of the road, and whoa! And then it was, for me, thinking like, whoa, just what happened. So, you know, it was paranormal in the respect that I wasn't there. I wasn't conscious at the moment of impact. So I must have been like completely like left my body and
you had like an outer body experience.
Yeah, out of body or out of body or near death experience. Yeah.
You know, for me, I was in a car accident back in 2003, and car flew through the air 2 times. People say if I wasn't wearing a seatbelt, I would be dead. Since then, if it like snows or if there's ice, like nope, not going to work, not leaving the house. Twice, I was in a car accident 2 times. Once, we were coming back from my grandparents. Funny story about that. You know, because there's let's see, they were in Plains, so that's like a 100-mile difference. So where we were in upstate New York, we're like, oh, you know, it's raining, it's snowing and all that. My grandmother was working over my dad, you know, calm down, you know, the sun's out. It's like, yeah, it's 100 miles. We're gonna get first. And then like an hour or so later, you're going to get the storm. So we went over, you know, we spent the day. On the way back, you know, we drove back into the storm. My dad drove over a patch of ice, the car spun around. And you know those garbage cans filled with water? So we hit one of those. It went up on the guardrail. And I'm like, okay, that was strike 1. Never go out and snow again. And the second one happened in 2003. And I'm like, you know what? Car accidents are freaking scary. So I'm going to limit my time in a car. So I'm like, yeah, if you don't have to be out on the road, don't do that. But I actually had my friend Sarah, who I haven't talked to in a very long time. And I would love to catch up. You know, Sarah, what was your most terrifying, scary moments? And this is a Halloween edition.
I haven't actually got very many scary moments. I don't scare very easily. I think of something. Okay, I'm terrified of heights. I went to this thing where it's a really tall tower, and I had to go all the way to the top for this event. And you could feel the building swaying while you're up there. And I had to go right to the edge to look over the city. I'm just terrified of heights. It looks like you're going to fall over the side. That's about as scary as it gets for me. No ghost experiences.
But I was telling my friend Nick about what you guys have in common is both of you are in the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
I'm in Romford, so East London going into Essex. How about you?
I'm in March in Cambridgeshire.
Oh, cool.
So I used to live in Hertfordshire though.
Oh, so not too far away. Most of my family still live in Hertfordshire.
Yeah, I've got relatives that way as well. So.
Excellent.
So actually, I'm going to do something fun with the last 12 minutes. I'm going to pass the show over to each of you. You know, was there any subjects, any stories you want to talk about? Plug your shows. This is your time. I want this to be very interactive. And technology.
Well, I'll start.
Yeah, go for it.
I do have a YouTube channel. It's called Huntaphobia, and basically what I do is paranormal investigations. What goes up on my channel right now is clips from my investigations, but I do have full investigations. My full videos right now go on a streaming service called Paraflix. Basically, Paraflix is a lot like Netflix, but it's for the paranormal. So if you just go to paraflix.com, you'll find it. It's an app, and they are on Amazon and Fire Stick, and I think they're going to be on Apple TV soon as well. So my full videos go up on Paraflix. My clips go up on YouTube, and I do have a social media site that I just started about 4.5 months ago. It's called Parapost Network. So it's everything under the umbrella of paranormal. So we're talking obviously paranormal, we're talking UFOs, we're talking supernatural, we're talking cryptics, anything under the umbrella you will find on Parapost Network, and which you can find through iOS or Android. And the iOS app just been updated, and it just got released today. So that's basically what I do. There's my plug.
Oh, perfect. What about you, Nick?
I'll go next. I do lots of various things. I do a weekly radio show on Phoenix FM in Brentwood in Essex. You can listen to it at phoenixfm.com. And if you're in the local area, it's on 98.0 FM. That's a weekly music show that I do every Wednesday at 8 p.m. UK time. Keith, you yourself have featured on there recently, and always up for featuring more people. I've got a few musical guests coming up over the next few weeks. So yeah, if you go to phoenixfm.com, you'll be able to every Wednesday at 8 p.m. is when the show is on. But also, if you basically click anywhere it says Curveballs, which is the name of the show, then you'll be able to listen back to previous shows as well. So phoenixfm.com/category/curveballs. I also, everything else that I do, I've got there's various bits and bobs that I'm involved with at the moment. I'm in 4 films on Amazon Prime. They're called Calamity Kevin, The Viking War, World Cup Heist, and there's another one called Mother's Child as well, which I had a very brief cameo in. So they're all available by looking up those on Amazon Prime. And on YouTube, I do a regular show with my friend Jeff, aka The Badger. So look up The Badger Show on YouTube. You'll be able to find some of our collaborations. Everything else you'll be able to find on my website, www.nickfieldmedia.co.uk. I'll be regularly posting blogs from November onwards of shows that I'm in that you'll be able to listen to. And I'm also always up for voiceover work as well. So if anyone is looking for a voiceover, you can contact me through my website, nickfieldmedia.co.uk.
Actually, it's funny to mention that, but I'm going to pass it over to Jeff. My good friend, Elizabeth, actually, I butchered her name. How is she my good friend if I butcher her name? Elise Bowman. Elise Bowman is actually having classes on November 2nd. It's $300, but it is well worth it. She will teach you how to use the mic, create a character. It's really great. So just do a little plug for Anime Avengers. Anime Avengers is also available on the KeithAndrewNetWork.com. And also, Jeff, how can people follow you on social media?
Yeah, well, I have a Facebook page and a Facebook group. And my Facebook page is Spectrum Comedy Productions. And my Facebook group is Starseeds Abnormal Paranormal Comedy Community, which I started premised on the idea that people who are especially like younger people who are more woke and aware and gifted enough to go into the performing arts such as comedy, have special gifts, special abilities from beyond this world. So it's out of this world, and Starseeds Paranormal Abnormal.
You're perfect. And what about you, Sarah? I know I actually do a little plug for you. For people who don't know, Sarah's actually a book author, and her book is actually available now.
Yeah, I've written poetry. I've written 2 books. One's Black Widow Blood Ties and Holly Blossoms. More recently, though, I've written 2 poetry books: Dawn of a New Day and Hanging by a Thread, which are based on my own life. Those 2 books. No, I'm not really doing much. I'm doing most of my writing on my blog because I'm in the middle of setting up a business because I'm also an artist. So we have a shop just for about a 20-minute drive from here. I'm running at the moment. I'm also running market stalls, so not much time to write at the moment. So my blog, I always forget this one. If you go to my Twitter page, there's a link to my blog. Just checking what I always forget this. It's at SLW_author. If you go there, you can find a link to my blog and my business.
Oh, absolutely. And I do have a couple questions for you off the air. We can definitely talk about that. Now, the one thing I do want to say, this is the very first time I'm doing an international Canadian and UK edition Helloween. So, I didn't know what to expect. I'm not disappointed. You're hanging out with a bunch of friends. Graham, Melissa, your mic worked. I like to hear from you. But, it's, hey, one thing I do want to promote is the Keith Andrew Network. This January, actually, I can look at my calendar so you guys can write it down. Let's see, it's October, so January. Perfect. If you guys are not doing anything on Saturday, January 8th, that's a Saturday, at 6 p.m., that's going to be my holiday edition. It may be late in the UK, but I would be honored and privileged if you guys can make it. I know Canada's on the same East Coast time as US, so it's easier. But if you can't make it on the New Year's one, we're also doing one on June 10th. June 10th will be a Friday. That will be 8 p.m. That's got to be my 9-year anniversary show. But in the meantime, I want to give you guys a special treat. I'm looking for the Keith Andrew Network to give people opportunities. If you would like to be featured on the Keith Andrew Network, free of charge, no money, you work at your own pace, your own schedule. If you like to create your own show, have your show air on here, I know people who would love to interview you guys. So the Keith Andrew Network, it's all about bringing people together and networking. You help me, I help you, and by networking, you can accomplish anything. One thing about this show is, as I said before, Halloween isn't really globalized. I was under the impression, people in Canada celebrate it, people in England celebrate it. Now I know it's only an American holiday, so
we celebrate it. We celebrate it. Yeah, we celebrate it here. It's not a holiday, though. It's not a holiday. It's just another day.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, because there's other people. I'm we don't do that here.
But you always walk past a few houses with giant pumpkins in, so.
Where my shop is, they've got this whole thing for Halloween. There's like a maze, and they're doing pumpkin carving and everything. So they do it here.
There was back in my day when I was a kid, there was the Halloween, but the night before, it was called Devil's Night, and that's where kids would go out and do some rotten things. Toilet paper somebody's house, or throw eggs at somebody's house, or doing whatever and stuff like that. So not to say that I did that, because I don't want to get myself in trouble. I never did that, but other kids did that. So no, that was a big night. Devil's Night was a big night for the night before Halloween as kids.
Oh, absolutely. So wrapping up the show, it was a real honor and privilege having you guys here. I really want to say thank you for your time. I'm looking forward to our next episode. That will be in the new year of a holiday edition. If you guys can't make it, there's also, June 10th. And the following year, doing a quick little plug, for my 10th year anniversary, I want this to be very special. I know Canada is not that far. Bryan, I would love to have you here. Jeff, I would love you to be here in person. But I know the UK is really far, so I'm not asking you guys to travel from the UK. But for my 10-year anniversary, I was thinking renting an arena or a little place and having like the Keith Andrew Network Q&A and kind of like a roasted. I want people to roast me because I'm a big fan of it. So I want people to be there in person. It's going to be pictures. It's really going to be special for the 10-year anniversary. I know that's 2 years from now, but hopefully, everyone's vaccinated and the shit stops hitting the fan. But not to talk about political things, but definitely keep in touch. And I really appreciate you doing this Halloween episode. I want to say thank you very much.